Alright, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. This is your brother Rabbi Knapp coming out with a lesson. Lord's will is edifying. I was going on X, I stumbled across this video. It says Donald Trump, who is this? Hey Dave. Donald Trump has contracted with Peter Thiel's AI company Palantir. Let's look this up real quick. See what Duck's up to, man. He's always up to something. Palantir surging. The stock leads NASDAQ gains so far this year. Palantir Technologies Inc. is an American publicly traded company that specializes in software platforms for big data analytics. Headquartered in Denver, Colorado. It was funded by Peter Thiel. And I just did a video on this dude. I didn't really look into him because I was looking at a video that he did 6 months ago talking about the apocalypse and stuff. He has no idea what he's talking about, first of all. He's not trying to do that, but he does know about AI though. Okay. It was funded by Peter Thiel, Stephen Cohen, Joe Lonsdale, and Alex Karp in 2003. So let's look him up real quick, because he might be somebody you want to keep an eye out for. Peter Thiel. Peter Andreas Thiel is an American entrepreneur, venture capitalist, and political activist, a co-founder of PayPal, Palantir Technologies, and Founders Fund. Okay, that's co-founder of PayPal. He was the first outside investor in Facebook. According to Forbes, as of May 2025, Thiel's estimated net worth stood at 20.8 billion. Damn. Making him the 103rd richest individual in the world. Okay. So he's somebody in this world. After graduating from Stanford, Thiel began his career as a clerk for Judge James Larry Edmondson, worked as a securities lawyer in Sullivan and Cromwell, speechwriter for former U.S. Secretary of Education William Bennett, and a derivatives trader and credit. He founded Thiel Capital Management in 1996 and co-founded PayPal with Max Levchin and Luke Nosek in 98. He was the chief executive officer of PayPal until its sale to eBay in 2002 for 1.5 billion. Okay. All right. So I guess you can sum it up as an entrepreneur, businessman, Stanford University grad, worth a lot of money. So Palantir Technologies, let's wiki this real quick, because Trump's involved in this shit. So you know, if it's dealing with AI, digital currencies, or any type of technology that goes into your body, if Duck is for it, hey, the Lord's using them to do that, man. Okay? Because this is all going to manifest itself in some form of evil. Okay? Because we're dealing with the devil. And if you don't know, the so-called white man's the devil. Now, I know this it's hard to hear, but I mean, you got to have understanding. And it's not for everyone to accept, and nor do I care who gets mad about it. It's not about how we feel about it. It's how the Heavenly Father feels. This is beyond me. Okay, Palantir Technologies is an American publicly traded company that specializes in software platforms like big data analytics, headquartered in Denver. So big data analytics, okay, when you need to analyze something and you need to, you know, it's kind of so dumbed down to say big data analytics, but it's hard to keep data, man. And how you gonna, you know, extract information in a way that you can use it? Okay. Headquartered in Denver, Colorado, it was funded by Peter Thiel, Stephen, blah 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 blah. The company has 4 main projects: Palantir Gotham. Gotham? What the hell? I gotta look this up, because these Batman Palantir Gotham. What the hell is this? Abstract Planetary Gotham is a big data analysis and management software based on dynamic ontology technology, catering to the domains of military decision making, national defense security, government and administration. Yeah, so Duck is all into this. Gotham, huh? What the hell is this? Your software is the weapon system? Whoa. Look at this site, man. What the hell? Decision dominance from space to mud. Look at how beautiful this website is. Orchestrate combat power. Wow. He gonna track the fuck out. AI driven combat superiority. Duck is up to it, man. He wanna be able to track you. Whoa. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this. The water Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. See the Lord, he just shows you, man. He'll reveal it to you, man, what this devil's doing, man. We don't even have to sit in the office and learn nothing, man. Spirit just reveals it to you. He'll show it to you, man. Explore defense solutions. Discover the mission tested Palantir solutions that confront the world's most complex defense challenges. Yeah, right. Powering the kill chain. Gotham's targeting offering supports soldiers with an AI-powered kill chain, seamlessly and responsibly integrating target identification and target effective pairing. Ooh, yeah, man. Yeah, this is a beautiful time, man. Yeah, this is because on the left hand side, this is super immense. So I know that power is coming, man. The Lord ain't gonna bless the devil with all this and not have. Hey, let me grab that. Let me grab that. Is 2 and 2. I think it's Ecclesiasticus 30, but I can't really think of it. Let's see if I'm right. There's 2 and 2, 33 and 15. You're right. Let's go there. Let's start with that precept. Because he's not gonna get his devil all this power and leave his men defenseless. You crazy, man? Woo! I can't wait, man. Hey, Lord's will, I'm part of that number. Hey, not if even if I don't get any power, I want to see him get crushed. I love watching anime shit, tanks being ripped in half, you know, planes getting thrown out of the sky. Man, it's gonna be beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's the Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 33, and I'll start at 14. Good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another. Okay, so you can bring all your kill chain operators' experience, enhanced situational awareness and effectiveness as Gotham streamlines critical decision making in the modern battle place as well. Guess what? Scriptures tell you we gonna be like a threshing instrument, Esau. That's why we're not scared of your bullshit tactics, your tracking and all that. Fuck you. You're a fucking devil and you're being exposed to water Yahweh Shem Shot. Isaiah 41 and 15. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shalt make the hills as chaff. When you look into how wheat is beaten, what do you see? Let's find out. Let's get a beautiful video about threshing wheat. And that's a parable for how he's going to use his elect men to destroy, okay, these nations and these, let me see, who's beating the wheat? Like old school here, I think this one. Fair use. I'm just trying to teach about farmers threshing wheat to have some understanding. I'm teaching the elect of Israel so they understand what this parable is saying.
Harvesting grain involved many steps and resulted in more than one useful product.
Get up there! Get up there!
Farm families work fast during the grain harvest season to get the best market crop, kernels of grain such as turkey red wheat. They had to cut the crop at the perfect time, after the kernels matured but before the grain heads dried out. Farmers with a well-paced team and a well-oiled reaper cut their grain quickly during the narrow window of opportunity. Farmers tied the bundles of grain into sheaves and stacked sheaves in a stook so the grain heads dried more in the field. Threshing machines reduce the physical strain of removing kernels from the straw. Engineers ran the steam engine, while threshing crews made short work of piles of harvested grain.
And pretty much this is just beating you to chaff, Esau. Now they're using this mechanical work, but see all this back here is going through this, is being gathered, brought over here, then he's putting it in, or however it's working, and now at the other end you got the chaff and the things that's what we're gonna be doing. This is how you thresh wheat in the 1880s. We're gonna go even more old school than this, okay? Because the Lord's gonna be using his elect to 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 beat you. Okay, it's a violent process that the Lord's going to use against you, Esau. Okay, it's not going to be as mechanical as you got it looking here. But this is a parable to get, trying to get you to understand.
Laborers bag the clean grain in preparation for market. Farmers use the whole grain plant. They used the straw as animal bedding, and they baled it for transport and sale to urban markets.
Well, hopefully that was, what I'm talking about here, man. Because that's what's going to happen to you, Esau. He think he got all these in. Let me press this button, send a drum this way, and let's see what we can do over here, and press all these buttons. But we're not gonna have that. Okay, the Lord tells you it's just like a download. Okay, and then you're done. That's with a flick of the finger. Psalms 144:1. The Psalm of David. Blessed be the Lord, my strength. Okay, the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua we say, but his name is Yahweh, meaning he exists. By Hashem, meaning in the name of Yahushua. Okay, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, by the way. His name is Yahushua. He's Hebrew. Okay, he's not so-called white man, even though the so-called white man is also a Hebrew, but he's a Hebrew Edomite. The Lord is a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, there's a difference. Blessed be the Lord Yahweh, not Jehovah, not who y'all call God. He's not all three in one. He's not the Holy Spirit with the Son and the Holy Spirit. He is separate. He's the Most High God. Okay, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. Okay, so he will give us the download when it's time. Okay, when you start operating the power, when you stop powering the kill chain, you're gonna be destroyed, you damn devil. Take sensors and effectors. I didn't even get to, this is Duck working with this guy. You see why he wants to spend your taxpayer dollars. He's talking about this golden dome and all this shit. As a matter of fact, I picked up somebody last night. Ended up working late last night. And he worked for Raytheon. Drunk as shit. Running his mouth. He was saying, and it's all the spirit. The Lord will have somebody just I be talking to mad people about shit, and I be coming up on news, and I love getting news from people that when news just come out of nowhere, sometimes that's the best news because you're not in Raytheon, you're not hearing the conversations they have in Raytheon, and then next thing you know, you go pick up some dude from Raytheon, and he's talking all that shit. Of course, he got to sign a government some type of clause to like a non-disclosure clause, but they can't. When they look at, I do Uber, so who the fuck am I? Even the Karen Reed case, I picked up one of the lawyers or the DA. He was working on the case. He said this case is gonna be big, way before, like months before it even happened, and he said it was gonna be a Netflix special to how crazy this shit was. So the Lord have you run into people, and have you stumble across things, but you gotta have eyes to hear and ears to see, man. I mean, ears to hear and eyes to see, so you can, because it's all about what the Lord's doing out here. Okay, he'll have other people pretty much tell you things that, I mean, that's how you just know it's the Spirit, man. But he was basically saying was he was telling me the price of the Patriot system. I think he said like 166 million something for a Patriot system, and he was talking about how they're buying all that shit. And I mean, this is all public information, but I'm sure you don't want to be discussing these things because he said that this is the point I was trying to say. He was saying the Raytheon told him not to watch anything conspiratory. You can't talk about, you can't look things up. That's like part of his job description. And he's like, man, fuck that. He's like, we always look into shit like that when they tell us not to. Why? He don't want you watching the news and seeing what these systems are actually doing. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad the Lord had me pick him up. Gotham enables the autonomous tasking of sensors from drones to satellites based on AI-driven rules or manual inputs for human in the loop control. Gotham empowers you to make informed decisions, maximizing the effectiveness of your assets in even the most dynamic operational environments. Look at this shit. Is this the dome that's supposed to be? You know, Esau's so fucking funny. He love pressing buttons and shit. Just like a damn. He's such a coward, man. Esau, you're the biggest fucking coward in the world, man. You got the satellite, you're just like the fucking eagle. Like a fucking beast. You're an eagle. You see how he looks down? Oh, let me look down on people. Look at that. Oh, look how far out I am. He fucking this is the type of shit that he loves. He's a damn devil. Deuteronomy 28 verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Yeah, who brought a nation as swift as the eagle flieth? Who did this eagle come across? They came against the Israelites, man. Talking about Esau. This is Moses telling you about him, man. As swift as a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. And I remember a brother broke that down. We learn Esau's languages. You Israelites speak Spanish, you speak English, you speak Portuguese. But even though you speak these languages, you still don't understand. This is the devil, man. Okay, he speaks with a forked tongue. This is how they talk amongst each other. They're fucking wicked. Okay, and you need to understand the nature of this devil. Okay, because that's the only thing that's gonna save you from this damn red Hebrew Edomite devil, man. Okay, all of them. What's his name? Muhammad Ali said, what did he say? Something about if there were a bunch of snakes. Let me see if I can get him. He said it the best. Let me see if I get it. Muhammad Ali. Something about snakes. Let's see if it pops up.
Now, here's the position I'm in. Here's 10,000 whites coming to kill me. And in those 10,000, or let's say here's 10,000 rattlesnakes coming to bite me. And in those 10,000, there was 1,000 that didn't mean no harm. And I knew there was a good 1,000 snakes out there, but they all look alike. Now, what should I do? Should I keep the door open and let the 10,000 in, hoping that the 1,000 will unite and save me and one bite or kill me? Or should I just be safe and shut the door? So we have white people say, I mean right. I have a black husband. Oh, my children are black. I love everybody. I really believe you. But I'm sorry, man, there's 10 more thousand behind you that don't feel that way. I'm just sorry, but what am I going to do?
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I gotta clap on that, man. I mean, did he not explain that beautifully? That's, I mean, it don't get any more common than that. And the scriptures align with what he said there. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay, you know how iron rust. You can't get rid of rust. You can wipe it clean, but it's gonna come back. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. And we're seeing that. This, we're seeing his, you think he's using this for global peace and protection to protect you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? Meanwhile, he's setting up all these unrighteous decrees to get you out of your own native lands, stealing your all the shit that he's doing right now. You don't see it. You don't see it. Ecclesiasticus 12, verse 12. This is apocrypha, by the way, if you don't know. Set him not by thee, talking about the so-called white man. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Yeah, so don't let him stand next to you. Why? Because he's gonna overthrow you. That's his whole point. And if you're around a bunch of them, guess what? You're not in a good state, man. You're not in your right mind. Get the fuck away from him. And this is a humble warning to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans out there. Run. Get away from him. Get away. And I know you got to work for this devil. But hey, man, even then, it's almost time to get over start. Hey, these jobs are going to be gone soon, too. Anyways, man, it's almost time for this devil to be exposed. It's almost time. And the Lord's gonna do it so systematically beautiful. It's a horrible time. It's a beautiful time, and going into some more harsh times. But there's gonna be great more miracles. That makes any sense, man. Given the opportunity to perfect our faith, we want these things to come because don't you want to see if you who are you? Who are you? It's good to know you're Israel, but what kind of Israelite are you? How, the Lord, even if you're a two-third Israelite, that's better than the rest of these nations. Yeah, you might die on this side, but hey, a lot of people are gonna die. But guess what? You're gonna come back in the kingdom. You're gonna be in your right mind. Hey, you're gonna have your head down. But guess what? The lowest member, Israelite, is gonna be like King David in the kingdom. All right. So, hey, man, even if you're the him, even if you're the lowest Israelite, man, hey, you gotta thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Okay. Ecclesiasticus 12, verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? Exactly. A charmer, you charming a snake. This is what Ali was telling you. Why am I out of 10,000 snakes? I know 1,000 is good. Am I going to entertain this? No. No. It's better to be safe and acknowledge all of them as damn devils. And 70 AD, some of the Edomites who converted fought against the Romans. Okay, so there's gonna be some people that hey, there was people who believed before. They understand. I mean, even Alexander the Greek, he understood there was a God in Israel. Okay, so hey man, that says a lot about Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. As proud as Esau is, let me see if I can grab that. What's his name? Alexander the Greek. I'll put the Great just to see if it'll. Josephus, when he meets, when he first goes into Jerusalem. This is on his quest to conquer. What book is it? The book of Daniel. Well, I know he read the book of Daniel, but uh, what book is it? Josephus Alexander visits Jerusalem. Let's see if it'll pop up. 11. Alexander visits Jerusalem. 1133. So I don't know how to. I forgot how to. Because when you go into the Josephus, it's kind of tricky. Now I don't know if this is giving me chapter. So when Alexander besieged Tyre, he sent an epistle to the Jewish high priest to send him some auxiliaries and to supply his army with provisions, and that what presents he formerly sent to Darius, he would now send to him. Who's Darius? Okay. I don't know if this is Darius the Mede, because the Greeks took over the Persians when the Persians and the Mede took over the Babylonians. But I don't think, no, because Cyrus, I don't know who Darius is in this context. He would now send to him and choose the friendship of the Macedonians, and that he should never repent of so doing. So he was telling them, you better send me those auxiliaries that you were sending whoever Darius is. But the high priest answered the messengers that he had given his oath to Darius not to bear arms against him. And he said that he would not transgress this while Darius was in the land of the living. Upon hearing this answer, Alexander was very angry. Now, I forgot what high priest this was exactly, but this is in Josephus. Okay, but I just want to get, there's a point in here that I want to make. And though he determined not to leave Tyre, which was just ready to be taken, yet as soon as he had taken it, he threatened that he would make an expedition against the Jewish high priest and through him teach all men to whom they must keep their oaths. So you read Daniel the 8th chapter, man. This he-goat was no fucking joke, man. Okay? And this also shows you how mighty our priests were, man. Because these are the type of men they were going up against, man. And they had to trust in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh. Well, Yahweh. Okay? Because this is before Yahweh shot. Okay? So when he had, with a good deal of pains during the siege, taken Tyre and had settled its affairs, he came to the city of Gaza and besieged both the city and him that was governor of the garrison, whose name was Babemeses. But Sanballat thought he had now gotten a proper opportunity to make his attempt, so he renounced Darius and taking with him 7,000 of his own subjects, he came to Alexander, and finding him beginning the siege of Tyre, he said to him that he delivered up to him these men who came out of the places under his dominion and did gladly accept of him for his lord instead of Darius. So when Alexander had received him kindly, Sanballat took courage and spoke to him about his present affair. He told him that he had a son-in-law, Manasseh, who was brother in the high priest Jadis. I don't know if there's, because I'm trying to think, who the hell is this Judas? I mean, I gotta look this up, man. This is confusing me. Johanan, the high priest, post-exilic period, Nehemiah 12 and Judua. What the hell is this? Now, is Jadis Judas Maccabees. Judas Maccabees. Hold on. Is Jadis? See if this. No, Jadis was not Judas Maccabees. All right. I don't want to get too deep in this. I want to get to the point of when he explained to him who he was, and that there was many others of his own nation now with him that were desirous to have a temple in the places subject to him. Come on, man. Here, I think it here. Let me jump down. It says it's 11.331 in the Josephus, the Antiquities of the Jews. I have the book, but I got it highlighted in my book. But let me see if this is it. For Alexander, when he saw the multitude at a distance in white garments, while the priest stood clothed with fine linen, and the high priest in purple and scarlet clothing, with his mitre on his head, having the golden plate whereon the name of God was engraved, he approached by himself and adored that name, and first saluted the high priest. The Jews also did all together with one voice salute Alexander, and encompassed him about. Whereupon the kings of Syria and the rest were surprised at what Alexander had done, and supposed him disordered in his mind. So here it is. He's conquering everything. He's threatening Israel, and the high priest went to go meet him personally. Okay. However, Parmeon alone went up to him. Parmenion. Hold on, let me click this. Parmenion. Who is that? The trusted general of the Macedonian King Philip II, loyal supporter of Alexander the Great, but murdered on a false charge of treason. Yeah, them fucking Edomites, man. They love murdering each other, man. However, Parmenion alone went up to him and asked him how it came to pass that when all others adored him, he should adore the high priest of the Jews, to whom he replied, I did not adore him, but that God who has honored him with his high priesthood. For I saw this very person in a dream, in this very habit, when I was at Dion in Macedonia, who, when I was considering with myself how I might obtain the dominion of Asia, exhorted me to make no delay, but boldly to pass over the sea thither, for that he would conduct my army and would give me the dominion over the Persians. So he's saying, I had a dream that I was gonna might obtain the dominion of Asia, which is going into Persia. Okay. And he said, exhorted me to make no delay. Okay. But boldly to pass over. So the Lord, he'll do that. Okay. He'll put he'll put instructions in you, man. What's that? Job. I didn't want to get too much into Alexander, but while we're here, why not? Job 33 in verse 15. In a dream and in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth the instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide his pride. So this is what he did, man. Okay. 11.335 in the Josephus, whence it is that, having seen no other in that habit, and now seeing this person in it, and remembering that vision and the exhortation which I had in my dream, I believe that I bring this army under the divine conduct, and shall therewith conquer Darius, and destroy the power of the Persians, and that all things will succeed according to what is in my own mind. So this is the Lord, man. And when he had said this to Parmenion, and had given the high priest his right hand, the priest ran along by him, and he came into the city. And when he went up into the temple, he offered sacrifice to God according to the high priest's direction, and magnificently treated both the high priest and the priests. And when the book of Daniel was showed him, wherein Daniel declared that one of the Greeks should destroy the empire of the Persians, he supposed that himself was the person intended, And as he was then glad, he dismissed the multitude for the present. So what did they do? They probably went to Daniel, the 8th chapter, and said, here, you sodomite Greek, let me show you this goat right here in Daniel 8. Of course, they didn't have different chapters the way we're reading it. He took it off from scrolls and said, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. So he's talking about you. You're the first king. Okay. And Daniel, how did Daniel get this knowledge, man? It had to be from on high. You know, you go to First Maccabees. Let me just jump here, which matches up with Daniel the 11th chapter. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. Alexander, the son of Philip. So this is what this is talking about. Okay. Daniel 8:22, now that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, four kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in its power. So there's going to be four guys after you when you die, but they're not going to be as powerful as you, because the kingdom's going to be split, just like it says in First Maccabees, the 1st chapter. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. Now that's going into Antiochus. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many, just like an Edomite, claiming peace and then destruction. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. And you've seen how Antiochus Epiphanes died horribly, vilely. He was the Lord plagued his insides, man. And the vision of the evening and the morning, which was told, is true. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick certain days. Afterward I rose up and did the king's business, and I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it. So he didn't even understand what this was. Okay. But is it the little horn? I'm trying to think where he's basically this goat. Okay. Daniel 8:4. I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beast might stand before him. Yeah, this is him. This is him. Um, Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand, but he did according to his will and became great. And that's Alexander the Great. And I was considering, behold, a he goat came from the west, okay, Macedonia, on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. Okay, now that's talking about him. Notable horn. And he came to the ram that had the two horns, talking about the Persians and the Medes, which I seen standing before the river, and ran into him in the fury of his power. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram and brake his two horns, and there was no power in the ram to stand before him, but he cast him down to the ground and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. Therefore the he goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and it came up four notable ones toward the four winds of the earth. So when he died, um, he had his four generals um, split up his kingdom. First Maccabees 1 and 2, and made many wars, talking about Alexander the Greek, and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth at the time. Not everybody. He didn't come over here to the Americas and deal with you Latinos and Native Americans, and went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. And after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die. So as soon as he accomplished his goal, Lord took him out. And he was mighty and powerful. Look how much he took over. Wherefore he called the servants such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Daniel's saying this. Secular history matches up with this. And the book of the Maccabees matches up with this. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. So it was quick, short, sweet, and he was out of here. And his service bearer ruled every one in his place. Talking about those four notable horns. Or the, how did Daniel put it? Yeah, four notable ones toward the four winds of the heaven. Okay. Verse number 9, First Maccabees 1 and 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Okay, so blah. Quick little crash course on Esau. Evils multiplied on the earth. Now look at us. Now look at them. Domes, task sensors, and effectors. Ops center anywhere. Harness the full power of the platform from operations centers to the edge, transforming any bunker or outpost into an instant command center with mixed reality capabilities. Immerse yourself in a dynamic environment that bridges the gap between physical and digital worlds. Yeah, so Esau, this is his sword, man. Palantir came up with the groundbreaking technologies that help us make better decisions in combat zones. You are giving us advantages right now that we need. General James N. Mattis, former U.S. Secretary of Defense. Are you ready? Help revolutionize technology and accelerate software's future. So this is the time that the prophets, what do you say? The prophets of old wish they were you or something like that. I know I chopped that out. Luke 10 and 24. Let's go there. Luke 10 and 24. For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. So they don't know about Gotham, and they calling missiles the sword, and arrows shot forth by a mighty archer. The sword will not be wounded. And now we know now that he's talking about the Golden Dome. He's talking about, in what's that, Revelation, the 9th chapter, the talent. He's talking about what? The nuclear warheads. Is it it might be 16. Revelation 16 and 21. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. Now this is talking about literally the warhead. And men blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. So this is what they were talking about, man. They wish they could actually see. Oh, that's a nuclear warhead. Oh, that silo is the bow. Oh, the missiles that's the intercontinental ballistic missile. Oh, but we get to see it. That's the greatest thing, and this is great. And this is why we thank the Lord for these things, man. He didn't have us come here in this time to just, even if even you get to this point in your understanding about the Lord. I mean, this is great, man. To show, hey, the Lord he declared this from the beginning. That's like someone taking a basketball. He said, I'm gonna hit it off the backboard. I'm gonna hit it off and throw it to the ceiling. It's gonna hit the bleachers. It's gonna bounce 2 times and go right in, swish. That's what he's doing. Declare the end from the beginning. I don't know why I always forget this precept. Isaiah 46 and 10, declaring the end from the beginning And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will not do all my pleasure, and I will not. And I will do all my pleasure. And his pleasure is to destroy Babylon. Okay? And that's what's going to happen. But that's Gotham. That's Gotham. Gotham. Let's see. Gotham refers to two main things: a fictional city in DC Comics, primarily known as the home of Batman, and a Fox television series that explores the origins of the Batman universe. The fictional city is often depicted as a corrupt, crime-ridden place on the East Coast, serving as a primary setting for Batman stories. The TV series Gotham is a crime drama that follows Detective Jim Gordon's early days in the GCPD and the rise of Bruce Wayne's alter ego, Batman. I think it means something in Hebrew too. Gotham is a fictional city. Come on. Gotham. Yeah, Gotham. This translation is used in various contexts, including when referring to the fictional city. Gotham. Let's find that. Let's see that. What scripture is that? A burnt valley. Ooh, where's that at? Fourth son of Eliphaz. Okay, fourth son of Eliphaz. Let's find Esau's son, man. Because that's what he likes to do. He likes to, he'll switch up the words, but you gotta dig deep with this devil, man. Got Tom in Hebrew. Fourth son of Eliphaz. Let's find Eliphaz. Fourth son of Eliphaz. These are the names of Esau's sons, and the sons of Eliphaz. Genesis 36 and 11 were Teman, which is like the modern day German. You know, they call it the wise men of Teman. Omar, Zepho, and Gatam. Let's look at Gatam. So Esau knows this is his grandson.
Strong's H 1609. Gatam. Gatam.
A burnt valley, the fourth son of Eliphaz and grandson of Esau, and one of the dukes of Eliphaz. And that's exactly what this is going to be. A burnt valley. Okay? Babylon. Destroying mountain. Jeremiah 51 and 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord Yahweh, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. Okay? Now that says a burnt valley, man. But hey, it's all talking about Esau. This place is going to be destroyed. Okay? Babylon is going to be a burnt mountain or burnt valley, whatever you want to call it. It's going to get burnt up. Okay? Let me go back here. What is this talking about?
Social credit system. The government.
Oh, yeah, for Salak. I know I went on a roundabout. Let me see how much time I got. Salakia. I got more time. I want to be here all the night. But I want to share this.
Companies are experimenting with the algorithms to help the government create the new national social credit system.
China tracking and scoring citizens a new social credit system. They've been had this though.
The government also has pilot projects. In one, citizens are required to do hours of unpaid work to get benefits. And scores are docked for things like littering, a messy yard, gossip, even jaywalking. Video of offenders is shown on the local news. And information collectors like Zhou Aini are paid to report on their neighbors. Her quota, 10 entries a month. Like the man who carried a drunk person home. A good deed, she says. Good social credit gets rewarded with perks like cheap loans and travel deals. But a bad score means public shame and worse.
So you see all these cameras, all this tracking. That's what he wants here.
Huang Huijun lost a court case in
You can't have a social credit system like this if you're not watching everything that somebody's doing, reporting every speed light that he goes across. This is that big data analytic that they're looking for. This requires a lot of data. All right, we got your license plate. All right, we got to link that up with your social security number, your facial recognition, your eye scans, your fingerprints. This all needs to be put into some type of database and stored. And then it needs to be calculated in order to give you a social credit score. And then going with AI and these different these AI projects. Hey, next thing you know, you got AI police, and guess what? They're gonna be arresting your ass, all based off the input data. Okay, so this is the type of system Esau wants over here. Super oppressive, ultimately to the point where he puts it inside of you, which is the MOTB.
Pay. Now he's on a government blacklist. I can't buy airplane or train tickets, he says, and the list goes on. Being discredited makes it hard to get a job or put kids in top schools. The social credit system will go nationwide next year, and few here are willing to criticize it, something that may pose a risk itself.
Skynet. Skynet, man. What does Musk have? Starlink. He got all these damn satellites up there. Who's he clicking up with? Duck? Who's Duck clicking up with? All of these different billionaire people who got what? Co-founders of PayPal and all this bullshit, man. How does that help his agenda? Don't you want to be the crypto president? You're going to be known as that? Why does all this matter? Because of prophecy. Okay? And you got to be aware of these things. He's manipulating with the AI, with the VEO3. That's even coming up. So this is that knowledge being increased.
For a bad score and the life that comes with it.
Look at that, man. Look at that. You're just going to be a damn... Look at this shit in here. Fucking sim.
Miss Mackie Frere, NBC News, Beijing.
That's your future. Nas Beijing has contracted with Peter Thiel AI company Palantir to create a national database of all Americans and their personal information. Wake up. Okay. We just went into, that's what I was just looking at. Okay. But at the same time, like I said, there's 2 and 2. The Lord's going to be raising Esau up on the left-hand side and raising up his men on the right-hand side. Okay. Isaiah, and he's going to lose. This is that affliction. This is what the Lord's going to do in order to see who he's dealing with. But the same way he's doing on the left-hand side, he's going to do on the right-hand side. This is the book of Isaiah 40 and verse 28. Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting power, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? There is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Okay, this is him endowing his men with spiritual power. So this is why, even if this is gonna get creepy out here in these last days, it's gonna get super spiritual. Psalms 103 and verse 4. Who redeemeth thy life from destruction, who crowneth thee with loving kindness and tender mercies, who satisfieth thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles. Okay, so being able to fly, being able to have power, not to faint. Hey, this is the power from on high, man. And he's going to give it to who he wants to give it to. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse number 8. And 5 of you shall taste 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight, and your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. Okay, this is blessings of obedience. This is why we want to obey Yahweh Bash and Yahweh Shai. Okay, now the Christian church ain't telling you this. They don't want you to know this because they hate the Lord. Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So we're going to be given a standard. He's going to make us disappear. He's going to put them to flight. However he's going to do it, we're going to see it in these last days. This is the book of Micah, chapter 4, and verse number I'll start at 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. So we're in Babylon today. He's saying here, this is where he's going to redeem us from our enemies during all this destruction, all this calamity, all this fucking hyper camera watching shit. Okay, he gonna get us out of this. Micah 4 and 11. Now also many nations are gathered against thee that say, let her be defiled, and let our eye look upon Zion. And that's what all of this shit's for. This Gotham shit. This is all so he can, it's all for Israel. All the troops, this is all for Israel. He know he gonna have to fight up against the Lord. Okay, he really wants us. Because he know the Lord is going to show who he's dealing with, in his last plan is to go Samson and try to kill as many people as he can, because he don't know who the elect are. No one does. Micah 4 and 12. But they know not the thoughts of the Lord Yahweh, neither understand they his counsel, for he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thy hoofs brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord, and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth. So he's going to use the daughter of Zion. He's going to make thine horn iron, and will make thy hoofs brass. He's going to turn us into a fighting instrument, into a power. He's going to endow us with the power, man. So these things, when we see Esau's being increased, the Lord's increasing on the right hand side too. Micah 5 and 7. And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people, as a dew from the Lord Yahweh, as the showers upon the grass, that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of men. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles, which we are, the elect. Lord's will, we are part of that number, but the elect are among the Gentiles, talking about these other nations, in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest. That's what you are, man. We're like a lion amongst the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. That's what it's going to be like when these men are endowed with that power, like a lion among beasts. Imagine putting a lion in a cage with sheep, with goats, with beasts. It's going to tear them apart into pieces. And that's what the Lord's going to do with his elect. Micah 5 and 9, thine hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, and all thine enemies shall be cut off. Meaning you are going to lose. Okay, you're going to die. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots. So anything you come up against the men of the Lord, they're going to get destroyed. Your horses, your chariots, your airplanes, your tanks, your men, your guns, all of it. Destruction. Micah 5 and 11, and I will cut off the cities of thy land, and throw down all thy strongholds. Okay, everything. Whatever comes up against the men of the Lord, it's going to be destroyed, all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. Okay, nobody's gonna be. There's nothing that you're gonna be able to do to stop this. There's no answer for the elect. That's the solution. You're the problem. You're the cancer. You're the one that's destroying the whole earth. You're Gotham, right? You Palantir Gotham. You wanna? This is what you name this? The Burnt Valley. Okay, we just went into the Hebrew of Gotham. Eliphaz this is the name of Eliphaz is look at these headphone sets and drones. This is all for the elect, man. Okay, who is he looking at? He gonna be looking at y'all like targets. Look at this. You're gonna be driving into work. He gonna be looking. Oh, there's the target right here, going into work. Oh, yep. Look at him. Yeah, he's in building the red building. Should we blow the whole? He'll blow the whole fucking building up to get to you. Okay, he don't give a fuck. This is Esau we're talking about. And by the time we get to that point, what are they gonna? They're gonna already have. They're probably gonna be chipped up. Cause soon as you go into this military, they do whatever the fuck they want with you. AI driven combat superiority. It's not gonna work, Esau. None of this is all folly, and he's gonna show you. Lord's gonna show you. Micah 5 and 13. Thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands. And I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so will I destroy thy cities, and I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. Okay, so you going to be destroyed. Okay, and the Lord, hey, he got him. Okay, he got him, man. Matter of fact, I got time for one more. You know, I'm gonna pour one more anyways, and I'm gonna end it on this. Um, um, so something like that. In Ecclesiasticus, know who are my chosen. Yeah, let's just jump over there. Because this is ultimately what's going on, man. Ecclesiasticus 16. Let's end it on that. Let's go here. So Ecclesiasticus 16. And what do I mean? Ecclesiasticus. Sirach. I mean, second address. What am I talking about? Second address 16. Ecclesiasticus 16. Sirach 16 and verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. That's right, man. Okay. They're going to be tried as gold in the fire. So lucky, that's not even what I wanted. It was a cluster of grapes But then you're gonna know when this time comes, then you're gonna know who the Lord's chosen are. Okay, 2nd Esdras 9, verse 21. Actually, let's start at 20. So I considered the world, 2nd Esdras 9:20, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of a cluster, and a plant of a great people. Okay. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept in my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Exactly, man. And that's talking about his elect. He's perfecting them. All right. But I'm going to end it right there. Lord's will, that was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Shalom.